What up, ladies and gentlemen? So today we're going to be doing Saturn in the sign of Virgo. And what happens when Saturn comes to the sign of Virgo? Well, what is the sign of Virgo? Sign of Virgo represents the original sixth house of the zodiac belt. Virgo, it's about details. It's about looking at things through an analytical perspective. Virgo, it's about health. It's about diseases. It's about healing. It's about curing diseases. This is why it represents the original sixth house of the zodiac belt, which is about obstacles and diseases and enemies and healing people. And Virgo also represents the energy of the sixth house, which is also deals with unprivileged people who cannot take care of themselves. This is why that healing energy of Virgo comes in, the Virgin, okay? And that's why it's the sign of the Virgo symbol is represented by this lady who's holding wheat and herbs, Ayurvedic herbs, at the edge of the boat, and she's coming on the shore to heal people. And so, but mainly Virgo, it's a very detail-oriented sign. It's about looking at nitpicking details. It's about, managing and organizing of information. Then you put Saturn here. Saturn is what? Saturn is your fear and anxiety. It is delay. It is organizational skills, your structure, your workaholicness. It represents your discipline onto things. And Saturn is about delay because it's a slow moving planet. Whatever it gives with delay. So when Saturn comes into the sign of criticism and analytical skills, here Saturn shines. But here Saturn shines with time. In the beginning, these people, when they're growing up, they will be criticized a lot. They will be told by their family members, but their cousins and everybody that, oh, you can do this better. Oh, you can do this better. Oh, I don't like this, what you did. So what happens is then this person creates a nature of criticizing others, because then what he starts doing, he starts nitpicking other people's flaws. Because Virgo is a sign of very detail orientedness. It's about looking at all the details. So in the beginning, when Saturn is immature and these people are growing up, they're not looking at details. They're just doing things and saying, hey, I did this. But then the other people in their life will bring that energy into them. They're saying, no, what you just did is not right. You missed this, you missed this, you missed this, you missed this, you missed this. And they self-doubt themselves. And so what happens is growing up, they become very pessimistic. They become very pessimistic. They worry a lot about things, and then they feel like, oh my God, there's no bright future about this worry. It just is not going to get better. And that's because of the fact Saturn is 12th place from itself where it's exalted. Because Saturn is exalted in Libra, and Virgo is one sign before it. And so Saturn is 12th place from its exalted position. This is where Saturn feels like, okay, in Libra, I am balancing the law. I am being fair. I'm being the fair judge of how to handle things. Here, I am ending up not judging anything, but just nitpicking the details. And that's where Saturn gets a little bit frustrated, even though Saturn is a very disciplined sign. He's a very organized sign. So as they mature, they will start to look at things. They will start to nitpick things. And as they mature, they will want to be perfectionist, because Virgo is a sign of perfectionism. And Saturn is also about perfectionism. Saturn is that earth sign from Capricorn energy, and Virgo is an earth sign from Virgo energy. So when these two match together with mature Saturn, these people will be like, if they arranged a room, yet there was one little, dirty glass sitting on a table, and they'll leave to go grocery shopping. They will not be satisfied until they clean up that glass from that living room to make it look perfect. If they become artists, they will not rest until that piece of art is perfect, no matter what anybody else is saying. And Saturn here, which represents long-term and chronic things, it can also represent chronic diseases and chronic healing of other people's diseases. So healers are seen from this Saturn, especially in the sixth house. Saturn, it represents healers. It represents people who take the people who have been taken advantage of, and these people try to heal those people. So like say people are being scammed by somebody. Virgo Saturn is going to want to look at the details, look at the fine prints of what is happening, and then they detect, oh no, these people got scammed. Let me help them out. Let me heal them from their wound. So that's what Virgo Saturn does in this placement, where they try to heal society at large, where they try to nitpick all the bad things from society and try to make it perfect. However, Saturn is still agitated here because he's forced to look at the details like Mercury does in Virgo. How Mercury is that analytical, calculative sign. It's calculative planet. Saturn is not. Saturn is a workaholic. He likes repetitive jobs. He likes to just be in his work and do the work, but he doesn't want to analyze something. He doesn't want to criticize something, but here he ends up criticizing not only itself, but other people as well. He tries to say, well, you could have done this better, and you should do this, not do this. And this is where they get the negative rap from people. They get criticized a lot, and their image gets hurt a lot in public light, especially if Saturn is in Virgo in the 10th house or 7th house. They will be criticized by a lot because they're throwing that energy out like karma, which boomerangs to itself. However, another good placement this can bring for Saturn Virgo placement is that these people are able to take a task and take it all the way to the finish line and finish it. And that happens with maturity, not in early age. They'll be able to do that after their mid-30s, where they take a project and they will finish it. They'll be able to take any kind of service task and they will try to reorganize that task. They will try to make it perfect, and they will try to better the society through those kind of organization skills with Saturn in Virgo. Now, one thing to remember is that Saturn is friendly to Mercury. It is a sign of his best friend Mercury. So what happens is Saturn, even though he feels a little bit out of placement, and he's being involved in resolving people's conflicts and diseases, it comes into an element after 35. Between 34 and 35, Saturn matures in Virgo, where in certain signs it might mature after 42. But in Virgo, it finally matures, and that's when it really becomes that disciplined, organized Saturn Virgo that it's supposed to be, where they will be very good at looking at details. They will be very good at nitpicking problems. They will be very good at editing, film editing, written editing. They can become novelists. They can become writers, technical writers, because Virgo is, again, it's about that technical organization. So they can achieve all of these tasks, but late in life. Like Saturn really delays the process of success in Virgo, but not too much though. Like in middle life, they start to excel in those areas. They'll start to become more detailed. They'll start to concentrate more on those things. However, one thing to also realize is that Virgo represents lower digestive system, like small intestine. Okay, so they can have problems with their indigestion and intestinal problems, especially during Saturn Mahadasha. So diet is very important for these people. Like here, the karmic lesson of Saturn here is, I will show you all the bad things in early on in life that you will enjoy. However, they'll come to bite you in the ass later on in your life. So choose wisely what you eat. And I've seen this pattern in 3 or 4 Virgo Saturns where after midlife, not midlife, like after mid-30s, their dietary completely changes. Because between 28 to 35, they start suffering from digestive problems. And that's where their Saturn Virgo says, are you sure you want to keep doing this? Or do you want to get a healthy, sattvic lifestyle? And that's when these people grasp that lifestyle, and then the digestive problem slowly starts to improve itself. But it does improve because Saturn matures between 34 and 35 in the sign of Virgo. But, mainly this is all about helping the unprivileged and showing people the right path, showing people, like, do not be scammed. This is what it's supposed to be. So they're very good at, resolving the problems of society and making things right with Virgo. Like they will work hard. After Capricorn, this is the second one that makes them very much a workaholic. They'll keep working. They will work 18 hours a day to perfect something. but it can drive them nuts because of the fact Saturn is in the element of Mercury. He's supposed to be now doing this through his thinking instead of using the body, because Saturn is about using your physical body to do things, where now he's supposed to use the brain. So that's where he kind of like slows his pace down. But overall, after 34, 35, things become like that true Virgo that Saturn is supposed to be in. Like, he's out of element in the beginning, but then comes into element in later on in life, and makes them actually some of the best film critics as well, because they're able to observe people, they're able to observe things, and then they're able to give their true analysis of it. They always look at the things outside of the box, like they'll look at it from all angles, where other people may just be looking at it from inside. So that's one of the good qualities of them. All right. So guys, this was my analysis of Saturn in the sign of Virgo. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your Saturn is placed and what conjunction and aspects it's receiving, check out the links below. Check out my books there, Astrology at the Speed of Light and Conjunctions at the Speed of Light. And when you get this book, I will send you the link to look at your own chart. Just make sure you follow the directions below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.